The game today comes to you from the Emerald City, Seattle, Washington. This is it. The season nearly over. It's been a great year with plenty of memorable moments and incredible plays. Today's matchup promises more of the same as the Rams square off against the Seahawks. They're lined up for the kickoff, so let's get this game started. Dickerson is just about ready to kick this one away. This one is handled by Smith. John, it's been raining most of the day, and clearly this will continue to have a big impact on this one.
I was watching both of these teams during warm-ups, and I saw guys slipping and sliding all over the place. It's not going to be easy for the offense, that's for sure.
The Rams come out in a 4-3.
Let's go.
Blitz is coming with the pass. Incomplete pass. He had to unload that pass in a hurry.
Yeah, he felt those guys closing in and gunned the ball out of there.
Second and 10. Ball on the 20-yard line.
The Rams with a four-man front. Heat comes in motion. Little misdirection. Weaver is there for the tackle at the 17. Couldn't find any success in the middle.
And the thing is, that's where it all starts, with alignment. And whoever can take control and dominate in the trenches is going to have a huge advantage over their opponent.
Ball on their own 17.
Ball on the 17-yard line.
Let's go now.
Gore, the deep man. They'll go with a play fake. Gets rid of it. Completed pass to the back. Daniels comes up to make the play at the 38.
On 3rd and long, the defense is playing pass all the way. They just can't come up with a stop. Watch it here. The quarterback looks and fires one, and the defense is left to wonder how they let him off the hook.
Heat moves in motion. Looking to run it here. Harper is there for the tackle at the 46.
A successful running attack requires good blocking up front to be effective.
Second and 2 coming up here.
On the 46-yard line.
Here we go. Let's go. Bring it on.
The blitz is on with the throw. And he makes the grab. A lot of pressure on the quarterback, but he still got away a good pass.
Yeah, and here's one thing. He's one of the smartest guys in football at the quarterback position. He's always watching film and studying defenses, and you see all that hard work paying off on plays like that.
Ball on the 45-yard line.
The Rams with a four-man front. They'll pass on first down. Throws it. This one falls incomplete. I think that incompletion was the result of a wet football.
Yeah, these new footballs are already a little slick. When you add moisture, you start getting some split-fingered stuff. Good in baseball, not good in football.
Second and 10. Ball on the 45-yard line.
The Rams line up in a 4-3.
Let's run, man.
They're blitzing. Pass ball's incomplete. He was pressured as the defense forced the issue.
Yeah, and that's something the defensive coordinator mentioned in practice this week. Making the quarterback throw the ball before he's ready to throw it.
And this is the 8th play of this drive.
Ball on the 45-yard line.
They line up in the I formation.
Everything you got. They worry about us coming.
Here comes the blitz. With the pass, incomplete. Now, who are they going to call a penalty on here?
Pass interference on the defense. Number 20.
So the flag goes against the defense, and that's big because they had them stopped on 3rd down. 8th play of this drive.
Ball on the 29-yard line.
Here we go, baby. From the start.
Going to the air on first down. Gets the pass off. Ooh, nearly picked off. Dropped in the end zone, so the offense still has possession.
And that's the last thing you want as a defender, to have the ball go right through your hands in the end zone.
And this is the 9th play of this drive.
On the 29-yard line.
Not today.
Gore, the deep back.
Hold the look. Blue jam. Bring it up.
Cross play to the right. Number 58 comes up to make the play at the 22. Gore running hard, going right through the arm tackles. They have to get it now to at least the 19-yard line.
Will.
The Rams come out with 3 down linemen and 7 defensive backs. It's broken up, and he throws incomplete because he had major pressure.
The corner came on a blitz, and he sprinted for the quarterback. Guys love the opportunity to get a sack, and that time he just missed taking him down.
Tynes will try to put them ahead with this field goal. Leonard gives it through. And they come away with a field goal on their first drive of the game.
They established some things on offense, and they got 3 points out of it. I'm thinking that we're going to see a lot more points out of them before this one's over.
Ryan is back and ready to put this one in the air. The kick sails out of the end zone. St. Louis trying to push this one all the way down the field for the lead.
First and 10. Ball on the 20-yard line.
Dropping back to pass on first down. Throwing. Williams makes the play at the 47.
Now that's a quick release. The quarterback decided where he wanted to go with it, and boom, it was in the receiver's hand.
Ball on their own 47.
Ball on the 47-yard line.
The defense lines up in the nickel. Hands it off. Great fake. Stepping up.
The safeties are pretty good coverage guys out there, and that gives them ability to blitz from the outside. A lot of time the corner will come in unblocked, really causing some problems for the offense.
Now they're looking at 2nd and long after the sack. The Rams line up in the bunch formation. Baja is there for the tackle at the 47-yard line.
When your offensive line is getting a good push up front, it's a lot easier to pick up yardage on the ground.
Looking for a 3rd down conversion here. They have to get it to the 43. No, with split backs. Gives the ball off. He's brought down behind the line for a short loss. So we should see the punter after they fail to convert on 3rd down. Miller will come in now to punt it away. Smith sets up, waiting for the punt. Fair catch.
Fair catch made at the 14-yard line.
Ball on their own 14.
Start the drive at the 14-yard line. 1st and 10.
The backs are lined up in an I. He comes in motion. Put it in the misdirection. Thornton is there on the stop at the 15-yard line.
This team's always trying to get a good mix of run and pass plays.
Second and 9. Ball on the 15-yard line.
Drops back. Looking for something long. Drops the interception. Close to a big play by the defense.
And it probably should have been a big play. He had perfect position to get the interception. He just dropped it.
Third and 9. Ball on the 15-yard line.
The Rams come out in a nickel package. Dropping back. Pressure. Gets the pass off. Weaver is there on the stop. It's caught, but the defense stops him, and so it'll be fourth down.
That's what you need on the third down play. Make sure that he doesn't get the first down.
Ryan is ready to punt this one away. Anderson back to return. And he chooses not to return this one. First and 10.
Ball on the 37-yard line.
Hold the look. Here we go.
Dropping back to pass on first down. Looking for the long completion down the left side. Broken up.
He needs to do a better job putting the pass in a spot where only his guy can get it. Those tip passes can turn into interceptions pretty easily.
Davis was the intended receiver on that play.
Second and 10. Ball on the 37-yard line.
Let's do our thing. Let's do our thing.
No, using split backs. Closing in. Rolls right. The big man gets in there for a big sack.
He's got a great combination of size and move. He won't be winning any races, but he's good at getting after the quarterback. And let me tell you, you never want him to be the guy falling on top of you.
Ball on their own 32.
Ball on the 32-yard line.
The Seahawks come out in a dime package. Rolling. Almost intercepted. Witherspoon had his hands on it.
He's a pretty good cover linebacker. He can run with most guys, and he gets good position. Then he reads the pass, and he makes his move. But he'll drop a few like that one.
Miller comes into the game for the punt. Smith is the deep return man. From the 29-yard line.
38-yard line. Return for a gain of 1 yard.
Ball on their own 31.
First and 10.
The backs are lined up in an eye. With the pass, complete to the wide receiver. Seems like all they have to do is just throw it near this guy, and he finds a way to come down with it.
Yeah, I was talking to the coach this week, and he told me that he's probably got the best hands in the team. And right there, he just showed us why.
First and 10. Ball on the 43-yard line.
Gore, the lone back. Heat in motion. A little misdirection. Smith comes up to make the play at the 49-yard line.
This is one of those games where you just keep running it at him. 4 yards here, 5 yards there, and loosen them up, and then wham. You knock them out late in the game with that long touchdown run.
Pickup of about 5.
Under 10. From the start.
The Rams with a 4-man front. With the throw. Incomplete pass. He had too much on that pass, John, as it sailed over everybody.
Looks like he might be pressing a little bit out there. He needs to be a little more patient, find his receiver, and then deliver the ball on a spot that his receiver can go to.
Ball on the 49-yard line.
The Rams come out in a 4-3. Dropping back. Gets the pass off. Wide receiver has it. Lewis is there for the tackle at the 42. Fitzgerald makes his second catch for a first down on this drive. Ball on the 42-yard line.
Ball on the 42-yard line.
The Rams line up in a 4-3. Throwing. It's batted away. Jones was the one they were trying to get the ball to.
On the coverage. Second and 10. Ball on the 42-yard line.
Let's turn it up, D.
The Rams come out in a 4-3. Gets rid of it. Nearly intercepted.
What the defense is doing is they're watching the quarterback's eyes. They're cluing. They're in position so that whatever happens, the ball is in front of them. And that time, it almost got him an interception.
Third and 10. Ball on the 42-yard line.
The Rams come out in a nickel package.
Let's go.
Gets the pass off. Incomplete pass. The defense forced the issue that time, John.
The guys up front got good pressure, forcing him to get rid of that one before he wanted to.
So as we get set for the punt, let's take a look at our returners' stats. He'll try to pin them inside the 10. Fair catch called for. Ball on their own 20.
Ball on the 20-yard line.
Defense, get ready.
Alexander, the lone back, going to the air on first down. With the pass, Williams is there for the tackle at the 34. That was a good adjustment by the receiver as he reads the man coverage and finds open space.
The thing with these option routes is everyone has to make their read quickly and make their adjustments quickly. Running option routes and running them effectively takes a lot of repetition and practice.
Alexander, the lone back. They'll go with a play fake off his back foot. He goes up and grabs it. The 30, the 20, the 10. Touchdown, St. Louis.
I'll tell you, this is nice work by both the quarterback and the receiver in this play. Watch it here. He reads the coverage, looks for the best option, and then throws it to him.
The extra point attempt is good.
The offense kept taking and taking, and the defense kept giving and giving until they finally got the touchdown.
Dickerson in to kick this one off.
Smith back deep to return.
Nice distance. This one is handled by Smith. They're just about ready to get this drive started after being forced to punt on their last possession. Ball on their own 20.
Ball on the 20-yard line.
Gore lines up behind his fullback in the eye.
Hey, let's go. From the start, from the start.
Throws it. little off target, but caught. Ooh, that one will leave a mark.
A successful offense is one that could run or throw for good yardage on first down.
Gain of 10. Ball on their own 30.
Ball on the 30-yard line.
The Rams line up in a 4-3. This one is handed off. Lewis is there for the tackle at the 32-yard line. Big-time play by the fullback, moving the chains.
Hey, they didn't need a whole lot. And when they have to pick up a short one, this is their guy.
Ball on their own 32.
Ball on the 32-yard line.
After 1 quarter of play, the score is 7-3. Rams.
St. Louis, 7. Seattle, 3.
Teams as switch sides, and we'll start with the second quarter. First and 10.
Ball on the 32-yard line.
The Rams line up in a 4-3. Gets the pass off. Gets his hand on it.
He's always been able to catch a ball. He has soft hands and good body control. He ran a good route, and the quarterback made the right read. He just didn't bring it in.
Second and 10. Ball on the 32-yard line.
The Rams with a 4-man front. Here comes the blitz. With the pass. Incomplete.
Pass interference on the defense. Number 27.
This one goes against the defender.
Both the offensive and the defensive player have a right to go for the ball there. But it looks as though the defender just decided to tackle the receiver rather than play in the pass.
The Rams line up in a 4-3. Handed off to the back. Smith got very good penetration there. Very little blocking to work with on that play.
Yeah, that's just great play from the defense. They play with great leverage up front and always seem to get penetration. When you have defenders in the backfield, it makes it very difficult to run or pass.
Ball on the 35-yard line.
Gore, the lone setback. Handed off. Harper is there for the tackle at the 41-yard line.
This team's always trying to get a good mix of run and pass plays.
Now it's 3rd and 6 coming up.
Ball on the 41-yard line.
The Rams come out in a nickel package. Gets rid of it. Incomplete. He barely got that one off.
It wasn't a sack. What it did was make the quarterback adjust his throw, and it messed up his rhythm.
Ryan will come in now to punt it away. Anderson into return. From the 20-yard line.
37-yard punt. Return for a gain of 3 yards.
So they have 1st and 10 here.
1st and 10.
The Seahawks with a 4-man front. Looking to run it here. Witherspoon is there on the stop at the 27.
He was looking for a place to run, but all those places were filled up with guys waiting to tackle him.
Second and 7. Ball on the 27-yard line.
Let's go. Come on.
The Seahawks come out in a 4-3. Hand it off. Great fake. He gets there and pulls him down from behind.
Kabir Bajabia-Miller is a top pass rusher. If he's fresh, he can make it tough on the quarterback all day.
They're looking now at 3rd and long after the set. The Rams line up in a 5-receiver set this time. With the throw, gets his hand on it. This defense, John, knows how to create a lot of pressure.
Putting pressure on the quarterback can disrupt passing, but pressuring the receivers can do the same thing. If you can play physically on the outside, bump them off their routes, hold them up at the line, you can take away his receiving options, forcing him to just get rid of it.
Very solid defensive effort to force the 3 and out. They'll spot this one where it went out. Ball on their own 24.
Ball on the 24-yard line.
With a counter play. Harper is there on the stop at the 33.
You can't have a good running attack without blocking. But blocking alone won't get you what you need. You got to have a back who can find the holes when they're there.
Ball on their own 33.
Ball on the 33-yard line.
The Rams come out with one linebacker and several defensive backs.
That was just a case of the defense getting off their blocks and flowing with the play. The ball carrier has to read his blocks a little better, find the hole a little more quickly, then look for some cutback opportunities.
It's 3rd down and a yard.
Ball on the 33-yard line.
Let's screen. All day, baby. Come on.
Only one man back. Play action. Throws it. Almost picked off. Lewis had his hands on it.
I think he was invisible out there, wasn't even seen. And that's a break for the offense.
Ryan is ready to punt this one away. Anderson lines up deep for the punt return. And he signals for the fair catch.
Fair catch made at the 32-yard line. First and 10. Ball on the 32-yard line.
I'm coming through, baby. Bring it up.
Hand off to the tailback. Stiff arm to the ground. Grant comes up to make the play at the 38.
As a coach, you need to make sure that you establish your running game as a weapon that can hurt the other team.
5-yard gain. It's 2nd down and 5 to go.
Ball on the 38-yard line.
Back in the gun. Let's go.
The Seahawks come out in a nickel package. Gets rid of it. Ooh, nearly picked off. Lamb was his intended target. Trufant had coverage on the play.
Third and 5. Ball on the 38-yard line.
Not today. Hey, watch that screen.
No, goes to work with an empty backfield.
Come on.
With the pass, and the catch is made. John, he's proven he's a consistent target.
Yeah, especially in situations where they're looking to get first down yardage.
Ball on the 49-yard line.
Ball on the 49-yard line.
Strong right. Let's go, defense. Let's turn it up, D. It's on. Let's go, D. Let's go.
Little misdirection. Wolfo is there for the tackle at the 46-yard line.
They might not be busting off big games, but those linemen are really working hard down there.
2nd and 7.
Ball on the 46-yard line.
Let's go. Everything you got.
To carry it. Nice play fake. Pump faking. Veteran linebacker bursts through and gets the sack.
He's always had the uncanny ability to have success in blitz, especially when the other team least expects it.
Third down, and to convert, they have to get it to the 39 on this play. Alexander is the deep back. He hands it off, setting up play action. Pressure coming. Gets rid of it, and he dropped it. They dropped additional people into the secondary, but still generated an excellent pass rush.
And that gives you a lot of flexibility calling your defense. If the guys up front are good at creating pressure, then you don't have to blitz as often, giving you the ability to double cover an opponent's best receiver.
Smith is back to receive this kick. And he chooses not to return this one. Inside their own 20. They line up in the I formation. Heat, the motion man. Hands off to the tailback. Lewis is there for the tackle at the 9-yard line. No gain on that play as the linebacker slipped in almost unnoticed.
Yeah, he did a great job getting in there. He was looking for the run before they even snapped the ball.
There's 3 minutes left in the half. The Rams line up in a 4-3. Number 58 comes up to make the play at the 14-yard line.
When you have a good balance of run and pass on offense, the defense doesn't have a chance to focus in on either one of them. They need to be prepared to cover both options.
5-yard gain. It's third down and 6 to go. Gore, the lone back. Under pressure, looking for the long completion down the left side. This one falls incomplete. Matt Hasselbeck looks to be shaken up after that play, and we'll get you a report from the sideline when we get the information. Offense couldn't get it done, and they'll line up to punt. From the 49-yard line. Finds a small crack, but they get to him quickly and bring him down at the 40. Two-minute warnings coming up.
First and 10.
The Seahawks line up in a 4-3. Deep throw. He's there for the catch. Grant is there for the tackle at the 10-yard line.
What a throw. He put everything he had into that one.
Almost at the 2-minute mark now. Alexander, the lone back. Pinnock comes in motion. They need 10 for the touchdown. Alexander, the deep man.
Let's go.
They give it to the halfback. Williams comes up to make the play. At the 2. First and goal, they can't get into the end zone. The defense will have to come up big again and do their best to keep them out of the end zone. Matt Hasselbeck is back in there after getting taken out with an injury earlier. The defense lines up in the nickel. Fakes the handoff. Lobs one into the end zone. Drops the interception. Oh, man, he had it in the end zone but dropped it.
That's the second worst thing that can happen to a defender, to drop one like that. The absolute worst thing is to have your man beat you for 6.
It's third and goal at the 2-yard line.
Defense, get ready. Stay soft, man.
Throws this one off balance. Knocked down. Got away with that bad throw on third down, John.
The defender did a great job of breaking up the touchdown. But still, he should have had himself a pick.
This will be a chip shot. The attempt is good. St. Louis jumps ahead by a touchdown. Dickerson looks like he's just about ready to kick this one off. That one is out of the end zone. The offense couldn't get anything going on their last drive, going 3 and out.
First and 10. Ball on the 20-yard line.
Hey, watch the screen.
The Rams come out in a nickel package. Going for the deep man. Almost intercepted. Fitzgerald was the intended receiver on that play. Ferguson was there on the coverage.
Second and 10. Ball on the 20-yard line.
Regular. All right, here we go. Watch it. Let's go now.
Dropping back. Pressure. Throws it. Nearly intercepted. Two tipped passes in a row.
Rice, the intended receiver on the play. Third and 10. Ball on the 20-yard line.
Keep the pressure on, man.
This team has to start converting on third down if they're going to be successful.
Closing in. Gets the pass off. He has it. Harper comes up to make the play at the 31-yard line. That prevent defense got exploited on that play.
That's when the prevent defense can kill you. You have everyone deep, and the quarterback finds a guy underneath for a first down.
Watch the ball. Watch your eyes. No more, fella.
Pass play here on first down. With the pass. And the catch is made. They throw it and pick up a second consecutive first down.
Well, when you start to establish something, you want to keep it going until the defense finds a way to stop it.
It's first and goal at the 9.
9-yard line.
All right, let's go. Yes, on.
The Rams come out in a 4-3. Throwing. This pass is incomplete. The short pass falling to the turf, and it'll be second down. It's second and goal at the 9-yard line. The Rams with a 4-man front. The blitz is on. Incomplete as the defender knocks it away. It'll be third down after they fail to complete that short attempt. It's third and goal at the 9.
Let's turn it up, D.
The Rams come out in a nickel package.
Oh, this is tough for you.
Gets the pass off. And he dropped it. Jones and a touchdown that time. He could have held on.
You're right. He was there, got good position, then he saw it fall to the ground.
Time is heading onto the field for this field goal attempt. It's good. That kick goes right through the uprights as he adds another 3 to the score.
The key to winning is having your drives get some sort of points for your team. They got it done on that drive. And I'm sure they're thinking touchdown for their next one.
Ryan comes in to kick off.
Anderson back to return.
And he got all of that one. A great kick. This one is taken by Anderson. The offense ready to go again after their last possession resulted in a field goal. So they have 1st and 10 here.
At the 20-yard line. 1st and 10.
Play hard and fast, baby.
The Seahawks come out on a dime package. Pressure coming. Gets rid of it. The pass falls incomplete. Gerard Warren appears to have sustained an injury and will make his way to the sideline under his own power.
Second and 10. Ball on the 20-yard line.
Alexander, the lone back. Under pressure, can't avoid the rush.
And here's the thing. Yeah, the defense gets into the backfield, but you got to be able to move your feet, avoid the rush to give yourself a little more time. He just didn't do it.
Ball on their own 15. So an update now on the injury. It doesn't appear to be anything serious, and his return is probable.
Let's go, baby. Right back. Bring it. Come on. Go make a play. Nothing wrong. Nothing wrong. Play him on the feet. Let's get. On the 10. Watch the vertical. Watch the vertical. Hold the look. Watch your eyes.
At the end of 2, the score is 10-6. Rams.
St. Louis, 10. Seattle, 6.
As we take a look at his success returning kicks, we get ready for the kickoff. Ryan in to kick this one off. This one is taken by Anderson. And as we get going now in the second half, it's still wet, it's still windy out there, but we've had no turnovers in the game. Gerard Warren returns to the game after being shaken up earlier.
Watch the slip down. Keep the throttle down. Get it.
They give it to the halfback. Big is there on the stop at the 25.
The best backs in the league average 4 to 5 yards a carry, but there are a lot of things that go into a successful running game. You got to have good play calling, good blocking up front, and a back that can take advantage when he sees the opening.
So that's a gain of about 5.
Ball on the 25-yard line.
Davis goes in motion.
Get it up. Let's do our thing.
On the delay. Witherspoon comes up to make the play. At the 26, Alexander takes it up the middle for a yard or 2. Ball on their own 26.
Ball on the 26-yard line.
Take the right. Let's go. Be good.
The Seahawks come out in a nickel package. Pressure gets the pass off. This pass is incomplete. St. Louis can't keep their drives going, John. They failed on 6 third downs.
Yeah, they're not calling their best plays on third down, and they're predictable, which makes it easier for the defense to make the stop.
Miller comes into the game for the punt. Smith sets up to run back the punt. From the 36-yard line. Smith doesn't have a whole lot of room to work with, getting it to the 41-yard line. Ball on their own 41. The Rams line up in a 4-3. Closing in, throws it. Walt Harris has it.
Well, if you're going to get rid of it, you have to throw it where no one but your guy has a chance to catch it. That time the throw was a little bit off, and the defender was right there to make the interception.
Following the interception, it's now 1st and 10. Blitz is coming. With the pass in and out of his hands.
I think he was trying to do something with it before he had it. You have to look the pass into your hands and secure it before you start thinking about running it downfield.
2nd and 10. Ball on the 47-yard line.
Glenn goes in motion. It's the toss to the left. Williams is there for the tackle at the 46.
The defense held their positions and didn't let them get very far.
And a pickup of about 2. Get Bird on this 3rd down. They have to get it to the 37. With 2 extra defensive backs, the defense is in the dime. With the throw, the pass ball's incomplete. Trufant with the coverage.
The intended receiver on the play.
Miller will come in now to punt it away. Smith looks like he's ready for the return. Won't take a chance trying to return this one.
Touchback. First and 10. Ball on the 20-yard line.
Only one man in the backfield. Looking upfield. Lewis comes up to make the play at the 21-yard line.
A big part of this guy's running style is to use the blockers to set up his cut, but they were nowhere to be found on that run.
So a gain of about 1. 2nd and 9 coming up here.
Ball on the 21-yard line.
Hold the look. It's on. Set. Watch your man.
Fires this one deep. And he had it and lost it. Incomplete. He appeared to feel the pressure there.
So many passing attacks in the NFL rely on timing. When you can put pressure on the passer, you never give him a chance to get into a rhythm, and you force him to throw the ball before he wants to.
Hey, let's go.
Only one man in the backfield. Gets rid of it. This pass is incomplete. Good push by the defensive line, forcing the incomplete pass.
He hung in there. He didn't really have the time that he needed to make the play. The quarterback has to know who his outlet guy is and get the ball to him when he feels that pressure coming.
Now here's the punt unit as the defense forces a 3 and out. They'll spot this one where it went out.
First and 10. Ball on the 40-yard line.
They'll go from the I formation. Hand it off to the back. Witherspoon is there for the tackle at the 47-yard line.
You never know when you're going to find some room and break loose into the secondary.
Ball on their own 47.
Ball on the 47-yard line.
Not today. Let's turn it up, D.
Roll back in the shotgun.
It's showtime, baby. Hey, watch that screen.
With the pass, broken up.
That's just the kind of play they've come to expect from him. He always seems to make the big play just when they need him to.
Third and 3. Ball on the 47-yard line.
From the start. So we gonna take it.
Gives the ball off. Great fake. With the throw, he goes up and grabs it.
You always have to make sure this guy's covered. Heck, he can put up these kind of numbers even if he does have a guy on him.
First and 10. Ball on the 43-yard line.
Rip. Hey, watch the screen.
The Rams come out in the bunch. Big is there for the tackle at the 43-yard line. And now our viewers can see how successful each team's main running threat has been today. Ball on the 43-yard line.
Ball on the 43-yard line.
Let's go, B. Let's go.
McFarland comes in motion.
Defense, get ready. Let's go. Don't make the play.
Throwing. And he makes the grab. And again, he demonstrates his great hands.
You know, when a quarterback has a guy like this who can catch about any ball he throws, he can become kind of a security blanket. If he gets in trouble or he starts feeling pressure, he can look in his direction because he has so much confidence in him.
31-yard line.
Here we go. Keep moving.
Noel using split back. Dropping back to pass on first down. Gets rid of it. This one falls incomplete. Witherspoon gets to him just as the ball arrives, and he knocks it loose.
He played that well. You know, it looked like he knew exactly where that route was going.
Second and 10. Ball on the 31-yard line.
Deuce it. Hey.
Only one man back. Gets the call. Pressure coming. Pass falls incomplete.
This guy's so strong, he was able to get that pass away.
And this is the 8th play of this drive. Noel spreads them out. Horn, the man in motion. He gets rid of it. He finds his man. Cole comes up to make the play at the 12-yard line.
Watch it here. This is a great call on third down to keep this drive alive. They were in a tough spot here, but this is a heck of a throw and catch to pick up that first down.
So after that nice catch and run, here's a look at his stats.
Here we go, baby. Let's do our thing. Don't stop that motor.
Hand it off. Witherspoon is there for the tackle at the 11. Alexander takes it up the middle for a yard or two. Tenth play of this drive. Ball inside the 10. Going to the left. Breaks the tackle. Williams comes up to make the play at the 9-yard line. Alexander runs off tackle for a gain of a couple. This drive 9 yards away from a touchdown. And they're going with an empty backfield and 5 receivers. Throws it. This one falls incomplete. So he tries getting the ball to his receiver in the end zone, but it's off the mark, and now 4th down. He shouldn't have any problems with this attempt.
The
The try is good. Dickerson makes good on the short field goal attempt after the offense drives it into the red zone.
They had everything clicking at first, then kind of sputtered out, but they still get points.
Good distance. He got all of it, and it sails out of the end zone. The defense forced a punt the last time after 3 plays.
First and 10. Ball on the 20-yard line.
Gore lines up behind his fullback in the eye. Hands it off. Play action. Throwing. Almost picked off. Walker was the one they were trying to get the ball to.
The intended receiver on the play. Second and 10. Ball on the 20-yard line.
The Rams come out in a 4-3. Here they come. With the throw, gets his hand on it.
What happened there was they got in the throwing lane. When you're rushing the quarterback, you're taught if you don't get to him in time, get your hands up and try and knock it down just like that.
Third and 10. Ball on the 20-yard line.
Gore, the lone setback. Dropping back. Steps up into the pocket. Throws it. Knocked away.
When it's raining like this, you have to make sure you get the ball secured. It looked like he might have taken his eye off the ball at the last second, and that had a lot to do with him losing it.
Ryan is ready to punt this one away. Anderson sets up, waiting for the punt. From the 43.
The Rams will start the drive at the 45-yard line. First and 10.
The Rams line up in the bunch formation. Gets the pass off, and it's complete. Dig is there on the stop. Glenn didn't have much room to do anything with that one.
Yeah, they had the coverage, and they made the sure play instead of trying something fancy, like going for the pick.
Second and 3. Ball on the 48-yard line.
The Seahawks come out in a nickel package. Throwing. And this pass is completed. It's usually a good call to throw it in his direction, John.
Yeah, he's got some of the best hands in the league. He'll catch just about anything he can get to. I think he's most effective when they really need to catch. Third down, things like that. That's when he really shines out there.
38-yard line.
Nickelback in this time. They'll pass on first down. Under pressure. Wrapped up.
That was just a big-time play by the defense. They got low on the defensive line, they pushed the pocket, and they were right there to bring him down.
Ball on the 44-yard line.
Ball on the 44-yard line.
The Seahawks come out in a nickel package. Throws it. Just couldn't get that pass under control.
You have to be able to make those catches.
Intended receiver on the play. Third and 15. Ball on the 44-yard line.
Yeah, you see me.
Dropping back. What a tremendous individual effort by the defensive lineman.
That's the kind of defensive player you can build a team around. Having a guy like that up front allows you to drop 7 or 8 guys back in coverage and still get a pass rush.
Smith back to return. He signals for a fair catch. First and 10.
Ball on the 20-yard line.
Nothing. They don't get nothing.
The Rams line up in a 4-3. Rolling right, trying something to the left. He's there for the catch. Hasselbeck came into the year expecting to have a good year, and he has delivered. And everybody around this organization is thrilled as he reaches the 3,000-yard passing mark. Ball on the 37-yard line.
Ball on the 37-yard line.
Take it out, baby. Knock each other back.
They line up in the I formation. Walker in motion.
It's on. Let's go.
Here comes the blitz. Gets the pass off. Knocked down at the line. Can't complete that short pass, and it's second down.
Second and 10. Ball on the 37-yard line.
Let's do our thing. Let's do our thing. Yo, one. Good again. One of us gonna make a play. Go make a play. Yeah, it's on.
Drops back. Pressure. Throwing. Broken up.
He has to take more time going through his progressions to find his open receiver. You always start from the outside and work your way in, looking for the open man or single coverage. In most cases, a short route is your second or third look.
Fitzgerald was his intended target.
37-yard line.
Everything you got. Hold the look.
The offense has had trouble moving the sticks on third down so far. Dropping back. Closing in. Incomplete.
He decided to try and pass it, but he was taking so much heat that it just kind of wobbled out of there.
Times, and we'll have to get all of this one. He didn't get enough leg behind that one. So they're ready to go on offense after the missed field goal. They'll start at the 44-yard line. Noel sends a man in motion.
Come on.
Hand off to the tailback. Scott is there for the tackle. So at the end of the third quarter, the score is 13-6. Rams.
The score is St. Louis 18, Seattle 6.
And we'll start the fourth quarter.
To begin.
Ball on their own 42.
Ball on the 42-yard line.
Watch your eyes.
The Seahawks line up at a 4-3. Steps up into the pocket with the throw. And he can't hold it in.
I'll tell you, that was a tough one. When you're playing in these types of conditions, even the easy passes can be hard to hang on to.
As they get ready for this third down play, we'll take a look at how they've done today.
Watch your man.
The Seahawks come out in a dime packet. Hand it off to the fullback. Grant is there for the tackle at the 46-yard line. Pickup of 11 on third down.
11-yard gain on the play. First and 10. Ball on the 46-yard line.
Hey, watch that screen. Hey, watch the screen. They ain't got nothing.
The Seahawks with a four-man front. They'll spot this one at the 40-yard line. He's able to run down another ball carrier for the 7th time. 2nd and 4.
Ball on the 40-yard line.
The Seahawks come out in a 4-3. Gives the ball off. Washington comes up to make the play. At the 38, Alexander battles his way forward for what appears to be a 2-yard pick. Third down play here. They have to get it to the 36. Little misdirection. Great move to get through. It's on the ground. The Seahawks recover. They make a mistake and end up losing the football. First and 10.
Ball on the 39-yard line.
Hey, let's go. Let's do our thing. Let's do our thing.
The Rams with a 4-man front. With the throw. Incomplete pass. He just dropped his 4th pass.
Receiver on the play. Second and 10. Ball on the 39-yard line.
Don't make a play. Things outside. Hold the look.
Looking upfield. Weaver is there on the stop at the 41. Now let's have a look at what our runners have done up to this point. Ball on their own 41.
Keep the throttle down.
Only one man in the backfield. Pressure coming with the throw. Complete to the wide receiver. Harper is there for the tackle at the 45-yard line.
This is a guy who comes to play, and he seems to make big catches when they really need him. This time they needed to convert on 3rd down, and he's there for the reception and the 1st down.
Give it to the halfback. Doc comes up to make the play at the 40. Thor runs it through the middle, a gain of about 6. Ball on the 40-yard line.
Ball on the 40-yard line.
Yeah, you see me. It's showtime, baby.
The Rams come out in a 4-3. Look at that power. Harper is there on the stop at the 34.
Hey, if you can keep running the ball in the 4th quarter as you're playing catch-up, that's an advantage that you have over the defense because it keeps them off balance.
Let's go, B. Let's go. Do something.
The veteran slips in there and gets the sack.
Hey, you still got to give him a lot of respect. His moves haven't diminished that much, and he still makes impact plays.
Now in 2nd and long after the sack. Hand it off to the back. Colvin is there for the tackle at the 32-yard line. Vargas with a nice burst through the middle that time. 5-yard pickup. Third down, and they'll have to try to get it to the 24-yard line to pick up a 1st down.
I think this defense looks forward to these 3rd down situations because they've been stopping them today. They need some better blocking out of that offensive front. You have to use your hands, get them out in front of you, keep them inside, maintain leverage, and balance if you need to hold those blocks and slow down the pass rush.
Ryan comes into the game for the punt. Anderson is the deep return man. Fair catch called for.
First and 10. Ball on the 20-yard line.
Hey, soft, man.
Alexander, the lone back. A little misdirection. Trufant is there on the stop at the 26-yard line. Alexander gets the call on the counter. Good pickup. Maybe 7. Second and 4.
Ball on the 26-yard line.
Get it, son.
Noel sends a man in motion.
I can do it, baby. Hey, watch the ball.
He takes the delayed handoff. They'll stop this one at the 33. He makes his 5th stop of the game on that play. So let's take a look at how this back compares to the opposition. Ball on their own 33.
Ball on the 33-yard line.
The Seahawks with a 4-man front.
I'm coming through, baby. Let's go, B. Let's go. We're talking about real.
Looks like someone jumped early.
False start on the offense. Number 89.
As Carl moved a little early there.
Yeah, the rule for the offensive line is once you put your hand down, you can't move until the ball snaps.
So after the penalty, it's now 1st and 15. The Seahawks come out in a nickel package. On the call, Lyle Diggs was in the tackle for the 6th time. Nothing doing that time, John, as the linebacker gets there quickly.
He's one of those guys who's a sure tackler. He'll move up and play physically at the line, come on a blitz, and play the run just about as well as anyone on the defense.
Ball on the 28-yard line.
Only one man in the backfield.
Hey, soft, man. Hey, watch the screen. Don't stop that motor. Here we come.
Handed off to the back. Washington drags the ball carrier down behind the line.
They've had some success, but they were hoping for a little more out of their running game today.
2-minute warning coming up.
Ball on the 25-yard line.
Here we go, dude. We fine.
The Seahawks come out in a 4-3. Two minutes to go.
Ball on the 25-yard line.
Hand off to the tailback. Biamila created problems in the backfield on that one. But played it safe, stayed on the ground, nothing doing. The Seahawks call a timeout. They have 2 remaining. Smith will go back to accept this punt. And he chooses not to return this one.
Down by a touchdown, going on offense, time running out. It doesn't get a whole heck of a lot better than this.
Ball on their own
Will
39.
start the drive at the 39-yard line. First and 10.
Gore, the lone setback. Long throw. This one falls incomplete. And a flag on the play. This one, I think, is on the defense.
On the defense, number 48.
And they say the defender made contact with the receiver too early.
The defender has to do a better job at reading the receiver's eyes here, so he can tell when the pass is coming.
Ball on the 31-yard line.
The Rams come out in a nickel package. Deep pass looking for the end zone. It's broken up.
This is just a beautiful play to force the incompletion. I mean, he gets up high, and he turns what could be a touchdown into a heck of a defensive play.
The defense doing everything they can to keep this last drive out of the end zone.
Let's do our thing. Let's do our thing. Bring it up. Bring it up. Go low. Go low.
Drops back with the pass. This pass is incomplete. Time is working against them.
Yeah, I'm thinking they're going to keep going to the air, but it might be a little too late.
Third and 10. Ball on the 31-yard line.
The Rams line up in the quarter defense. With the throw, and it's caught. Parker comes up to make the play. At the 20-yard line, they'll head right back to the line. They'll pass on first down. Under pressure, throwing it away. He couldn't find a receiver, so he threw it where no one could get it.
The defense just can't play prevent and then think they can just tighten it up and make a stop at the end. They should play aggressive enough where they can make a play but won't be in position to get burned.
So they're inside the 20, need to get a touchdown. Pressure with the pass. Incomplete as the defender knocks it away. He just dropped his fourth pass.
Third and 10. Ball on the 20-yard line.
What screen? What sin?
The Rams come out in a nickel package. With the carry, fakes the handoff. Throws on the move. Ooh, nearly picked off. Fourth down here, just a lot better than a turnover.
Which is what the defense should have had on that play.
And so we come up to a very crucial fourth down play.
The defense has been able to keep them from getting past the marker so far. They need to do it one more time. And if they don't, we're looking at a heck of a finish.
Even though it's fourth and long here, they're going to go for it. Gets the pass off, and he hits his target. They go for it and don't make it.
That was a conversion the offense needed. They have to be disappointed, and it's worse because now the other team has the ball.
First and 10. Ball on the 15-yard line.
The Seahawks line up in a 4-3. The counterplay, great move to get free. Ball is there on the stop.
Called by the defense.
Alexander gets the call on the counter. Good pickup, maybe 7. Second and maybe 3.
Ball on the 23-yard line.
The Seahawks come out in a 4-3. Fullback handoff. Hall comes up to make the play at the 29-yard line. Look at that big guy go.
Yeah, he took it, and he started rumbling down the field, and he didn't stop till he had a first down.
All on us, y'all. Keep moving. Move in, move in. Let's go. Let's go.
And there's the kneel down by the quarterback.
All day, baby. Come on. From the start, from the start. Hey, let's go one deep. Go. Stay both now. Hey, you see me. Defense, get ready. Get it up. Let's go, let's go. Not today. Keep it up.
He'll just take a knee. Just the touchdown separated these two teams today. Not much offense was generated on either side.
Seattle 6.
This is Al Michaels with John Madden saying goodbye for EA Sports.